It is the 9th day of June 2023, and you're just in time for another edition of TV47 News Updates. Well, we have so much lined up for you on our bulletin this afternoon. Remember, you can always interact with us on our social media handles indicated at the bottom of your screen. Now, with that said, my name is Dennis Otieno. I trust you're doing well. Welcome to the broadcast. Now, on to our top story this afternoon. A section of religious leaders have recommended to the Senate ad hoc committee probing the Shakahola deaths to do away with the radical measures of regulating churches. According to the leaders, regulation of churches by the state may open the doors to manipulation in the same churches. Let's listen in.
Somebody a path to life. Religion is life. So if you tell somebody that you have to fast, not eat for you to go to heaven, that person will have that faith because you are the teacher who is teaching that person a way of life. So if you don't have knowledge of what you're teaching, that is too dangerous, and we should not allow that, Chair. We need people to have qualification on what they are doing, like doctors, like lawyers, like any other profession. Thank you, Chair.
I wanted to honorable senators, that if we are allowed to be the supervisors of this thing, then we'll be able to catch the culprits before they bring the damage. Not necessarily by them presenting us the papers. Papers will come, but let it not be the qualification. You said well that even politics is a call, and it is true. And we've seen great politicians who never went to school. And I don't want to quote them here because you know them. One from Ukambani, enduring our days. So, and there are those that are really educated and they're doing great jobs. So I pray that we kind of slow that down, but give it back to us so that we can be able to help. Because failure to do this will be opening floodgates of manipulation from the systems. People will just walk in and say, show me your paper. If you don't have a paper, you are arrested. And guess what, honorable senators, chair? This will bring a lot of people bribing their way to continue because they don't have the papers. I pray that we look at it, we agree that ignorance is not the only way. But remember, and I wanted to quote this because we are here talking about religion. In the book of Acts chapter 4 verse 13, this is what the Bible says. When they saw courage of Peter and John and realized that they were uneducated, ordinary men, they were astonished as they looked and took note that these men had been with Jesus. Those who came before us, who became great ministers, had no papers. But they are the people who wrote what we are reading today. Let's be considerate. Thank you, Chair.
So, Bishop, you actually still don't support that we should recommend that some minimal educational standard should be there. We should not recommend that, according to you.
Honorable Chair, I don't want to say no recommendation, but I'm saying the implementers of the same should be the church itself.
Okay. My Lord Archbishop has, may I, and then I come to you, Senator. Let me give the bishop and then I come to you.
Yes, thank you, Chair. When I began raising up my figure to see me, you went on clarifying my statement, and I'm happy because the Chair has understood what I meant. I did not say we copy and paste the Rwanda system. If you listen to me carefully, I said there is a role of the government, so the government cannot run away, and there is the role of the church. I did not touch more of the church, but I am of the opinion, I stand for that opinion, where we need also some qualifications for the pastors if we want to control this menace. The reason why I'm saying that is before you get that certificate, like let me give an example of my own church. Whoever comes in and apply to become a pastor because he has a calling, or a lady comes and say, I have a calling.
Our reporters are following closely on that story. They will be updating us further on it as it develops in our subsequent bulletins. But moving on, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua says Azimio leader Raila Odinga has no moral authority to issue demands to President William Ruto. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua accuses him of failing to address the very issues he is raising when he entered into a handshake with ex-President Uhuru Kenyatta. He made the remarks Friday while addressing a high-level coffee reforms conference in Meru County. The DP expressed the sentiments a day after Azimio leader Raila Odinga issued 10 demands to President William Ruto. Key among the demands was a call on President Ruto to withdraw the Finance Bill 2023 that has sharply divided the court of public opinion.
I want to request you to consider proposing to these members of parliament on how to streamline marketing. As it is today, it's unacceptable that the very people who are marketing are also millers. They are also roasters. It cannot work. That is how the coffee farmer has been exploited. We know they register different companies, but they are the same people. And they are the same people who sit at the coffee exchange. They are the marketers, they are the millers, they are the sellers, they are the buyers. Huyu mkulima si ameisha. And they are the brokers. That will be sorted out in Meru. And why did I choose Meru? Meru is the land of the brave and the courageous. Yes. Difficult decisions will be made here. They'll hurt a few people, but the majority will be happy. And we are sorry for the few people who will be hurt along the way.
And moving on to plans of bolstering security in the northern parts of the country. The government has announced a new plan to promote peace in the unstable North Rift region by setting up multi-ethnic community schools in the area. With the plan, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki says the government hopes to encourage harmony by inspiring children from warring communities in Elgeyo Marakwet, West Pokot and Baringo counties to grow trust and peace by studying together in these new schools. Speaking at Dira Primary School in Tiaty constituency, where he urged locals to live together peacefully, the CS also announced that 15 schools destroyed in the recent bandit attacks shall be rebuilt. A shared irrigation project is also in the works as part of the peace-building initiatives promoted by the government. The North Rift region has seen faced with many banditry attacks, disturbing education and other main services.
Na vilevile ikiwemo mpaka wa Marakwet West na upande wa West Pokot. Eneo hili lote tutajenga mashule ambayo ni mashule ya kuleta watoto wetu kutoka jamii zote wasome pamoja, wakae pamoja, wafundishwe pamoja ili watengeneze amani ya kudumu ya siku zijazo. Njia ya pili ambayo serikali itatumia ni kuleta maendeleo kwa kuleta maji ya kulima hapa katika bonde la Kerio. Ili wakulima kutoka sehemu hii ya Pokot, huku Tiati na vilevile wakulima kutoka upande wa Marakwet washiriki pamoja katika ukulima, wasalishe chakula, tuwatafutie soko ya chakula yao ili wapate pesa na mali kama sehemu zingine za Jamhuri ya Kenya.
Meanwhile, critics of the Finance Bill 2023 have now been urged to give the government an alternative avenue to raise revenue to support the country's economy and operations. Speaking at the Bomas of Kenya, addressing members of the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, KNCCI, Prime Minister Musalia Mudavadi denied the opposition's claims, saying the government has good plans for its citizens. The Prime Minister has called upon the KNCCI members and citizens at large to embrace government's initiative and support the Finance Bill 2023 in that it contains good plans for Kenyans. He further said that the KNCCI members to work together with the government in providing civic education to Kenyans on the essence of the Finance Bill 2023. Musalia Mudavadi said the debate must change from mere talks to how effective the fund will be managed and then shift the conversation to how to provide shelter to Kenyans as a constitutional requirement, just as government is obligated to provide food, clean water, universal healthcare and other services.
Business is crucial to the growth of our country. We need to expand, we need to grow internally and within the region. Statistics are showing that our trade is growing even within the region in spite of the various challenges that we are facing. Kenya's trade with neighboring countries is on the upward trend. We also want to seek your help to change the debate in the country. There is no country that can grow without revenue. No government globally has any resources other than those tax, and the tax money is repeatedly coming back to almost the same people again, yourselves included. So we need to find a way of broadening that base. And to broaden that base, we must make sacrifices. They'll be painful, but I'm seeking your help on behalf of the government of Kenya that let us change this debate. Let us ask people, if you say that you do not like this tax measure, what is your genuine alternative?
The Speaker of the Senate, Honorable Amason Kingi, today has said that the ongoing debate on the Finance Bill 2023 is healthy and it shows that Kenyans are concerned about their finances. Members of the Parliament are expected to execute their legislative roles on the bill. He further noted that there was an intense public participation exercise. The committee is now preparing its report.
The debate that is happening currently across the country is very healthy. As you know, one of the principle in the Constitution, the anchor values in our Constitution is public participation, that nothing should happen until and unless the public have been given an opportunity to, to air out their views. And I think the debate that is happening now touching the finance bill is extremely healthy, and it's within the confines of the Constitution. So it's encouraging to see Kenyans, voicing their take on the finance bill. And I believe once Parliament resumes on that particular issue, they will be able to take into account the concerns that have been given and make a decision.
Ukiwa pale katika bunge tunakuwa wabunge ambao tumechaguliwa, lakini utaona hivi karibuni kumekuwa ya kwamba ni kama ambao wabunge wametekwa nyara.
The position that the media occupies is very, very crucial, and the society looks up to the media if they want to get what they consider as the true position. That means that the trust of the society is deeply engraved or embedded in the media, and that is why you can see the ongoing debate on public finance bill. People are looking up to the media. What is the media saying? And you've seen the government being in a hard position in terms of explaining and selling the agenda. And the media has taken the role of unpackaging and bundling this particular bill bit by bit.
Now, a section of youth leaders are pushing for youth inclusivity in policy making, urging for a Public Participation Act to protect the rights of Kenyans to contribute to policies that will govern the country. The leaders believe this will bring the necessary oversight in key proposals that affect young Kenyans. Speaking at a roundtable meeting organized by International Republic Institute, Principal Secretary for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Susan Mangeni, acknowledged the importance of the push, further assuring the youth leaders that politics will not be allowed to silence the voice of the populous youth in the country.
Whereby we are bringing young people to discuss youth inclusion on government departments, and the issues to do with the economic forums for Kenya Kwanza, on how they came up with the manifesto. They engage the people. So we want to keep a track of what people gave during the elections, and it was ultimately put in the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, and what is in the Public Finance Management Act, more so in the young people.
Why we have this is the commitment that our administration has towards ensuring that we organize our economic participation in a manner that majority of people currently who are at the bottom of the economic pyramid, who a huge segment of them are youth and women also, but youth are majority because those are the people who are unemployed, who are what, can also get to participate effectively in our economy.
Meanwhile, the Kenya Women Parliamentary Association, KEWOPA, joined fellow women legislators in condemning the 4-month suspension of Grace Nduta, member of County Assembly, Kanyenyaini Ward in Murang'a, over alleged demeaning WhatsApp comments which led to her being summoned for disciplinary action. Speaking during a presser at Parliament Building, Members of Parliament for Dagoretti North, Beatrice Elachi, has strongly denounced the act and termed it as injustice. She has called upon the relevant authorities, including the County Assembly's forum, to immediately reinstate Grace Nduta, failure to which may force them to take necessary legal actions to restore her rights. KEWOPA has also emphasized on the importance of freedom of expression, which is a fundamental human right enshrined in the Constitution, stating that denying them this could result in threatening the progress women have made towards gender equality.
KEWOPA condemns the suspension of the Murang'a MCA Honorable Grace alias City Nduta over the alleged message criticizing colleagues. The Kenya Women Parliamentary Association, KEWOPA, today joins fellow women legislators in condemning the 4-month suspension of Grace City Nduta, MCA Kanyenyaini Ward, over alleged WhatsApp comments which led to her being summoned for disciplinary action. These acts not only amplify discrimination against women leaders, but also depict intimidation on the female MCs. KEWOPA strongly decries this act as it is unjust and not only violates her freedom of speech, but also sets a dangerous precedent for the stifling of dissent and open discourse within our democratic society.
Association, we are here in solidarity with Honorable Grace Siti Nduta, and we want to condemn very strongly what the Assembly has done. It is discriminatory and it is a violation of her rights. And we want to say that as the women members of Parliament, we are actually very vigilant and we will not allow such a thing to happen. Not in Murang'a, not in Homa Bay, not in Kisii, not in Mombasa. We will not allow it to happen.
Elsewhere, border riders in Embu town are protesting the high cases of insecurity in the region. This comes after one of them succumbed to injuries inflicted on him by thugs, with the riders saying they have lost many due to insecurity. The riders, led by Kangumo Boda Association Chairman Martin Mushira, were carrying the hearse of the deceased. Now, Martin says negligence by hospital staff of Embu Level 5 Hospital also contributed to the untimely death of the deceased. The riders have asked Embu Governor Cecily Mbarire to look into the matter of insecurity in the county. Kiramari Ward MCA Ibrahim Swaleh says the hospital could be sued for negligence, adding that they have been provided with enough funds for what is needed.
Kesi za insecurity zimekuwa mingi sana, na wacha niseme sababu pia MCA yetu ni champion wa kupigana na insecurity. Tunamwambia wacha street lights ziwekwe kila mahali na tutaanzisha nyumba 10 ya watu wa bodaboda. Zekanaje Shakahola watu wanauliwa intelligence hawajui? Hapa tunauliwa kila wakati intelligence hawajui. Kazi ya intelligence mimi nashindwa ni gani? Tuna huzuni sana kwa sababu kila wakati kila uchao tunatupa vijana wetu. Kwa hivyo naomba wale watu wasilale kazi yao. Alafu tena ile hospitali ya general structure ziko, dawa ziko, lakini human resource ndio hatuna.
Alipata ajali kupitia kuvamiwa na waizi, lakini shida kubwa pamoja na kuwa kuna insecurity ni hospitali yetu. Mimi nataka niseme wazi kwamba county government, sisi kama wabunge wa county kupitia ofisi ya governor tumetengeneza hii hospitali. Madaktari wako na madawa. Madaktari wako na mishahara, sio kama ile serikali nyingine. Madaktari tumewapea nafasi ya kufanya kazi bila interference. Tumewapea budget ya kutosha ya kufanya kazi. Lakini inaonekana bado wako katika ile serikali ya zamani kiakili. Tutawatoa kwa hizo hospitali. Hatutaendelea kupoteza maisha ya binadamu. Specifically vijana wa bodaboda inakuwa wakifika katika ile hospitali hawawezi kuhudumiwa vile inafaa kuhudumiwa.
Now, Kenya joined the world in marking the World Oceans Day, with officers from the Kenya Marine Fisheries Institute now urging the county governments to heighten the war against ocean pollution. Now, Kenya Fisheries Service Coastal Director Mwaka Barabara says the ocean and seas have potential of creating job opportunities through fishing, if only marine life is protected. Vera Alberta reports.
The county governments have been urged to facilitate and help in keeping the ocean clean and reduce pollution. Speaking during celebrations to mark World Ocean Day in Mombasa County, Director of Oceans and Coastal Systems at the Kenya Marine Fisheries and Research Institute James Mwaluma said dumping plastics in the sea endangers marine life.
Tumeangalia kwamba kuna a lot of plastic pollution ambayo tumekadiri kama 37,000 tons zinaingia kwenye bahari kila mwaka, na hizi plastics zinatoka kwa just human behavior ambayo tuna dump machupa, kama ni chupa za kunywa maji, kuna mambo ya sanitary pads, kuna mambo ya plastic bags ambazo tunazitupa.
Mwaka Barabara, the director of Kenya Fisheries Service at the coast, says the sea and ocean can create employment if well taken care of.
But haya ambao tunasema yanasababishwa na mwanadamu, tuna maswala mengi, kwa sababu kwanza tukiangalia kama sisi upande wa uvuvi, tunakuwa na wale ambao hawatumii zile nyenzo ama ule uvuvi ambao unastahili, wanatumia uvuvi haramu. Kwa kizungu tunasema wanafanya ile IUU fishing, illegal, unreported and irregulated fishing.
Indian Ocean Water Body Network Chair Lady Mercy Mganga says pollution endangers marine life because of inability to decompose faster.
Ambiwa kwamba tumia vifaa vinavyohitajika kutumika. Kama ni nyavu, unapimiwa saizi ya nyavu ambayo inatakikana kutumika. Kwa hivyo tunasema kwamba juhudi ziko za kubadilisha ile hali.
On June 5th, 2019, Kenya banned single-use plastics on beaches, national parks, forests, and conservation areas. Vera Alberta, TV47, Nairobi.
Well, thank you, Vera Alberta, report. Now, on that note, we get to call it a wrap on TV47 News Updates this afternoon. But remember, for this and other stories, you can always log on to our website, that is TV47.